those of you who know me know that I'm definitely a left-leaning individual, right? I'm very left-leaning in many cases, and that has a lot to do with just growing up on the West Coast and being more in line with that political ideology. But when I look at something like this, it is both a good and a bad thing. If you've ever lived and worked in the entertainment industry in California, to be fair, this is a good thing for you. Not from a political standpoint, from just a freaking work standpoint, because there's no work in California really outside of the post-production, pre-production scene when it comes to films, because most of the time it is all done out of state. It's so expensive to film in California, and tax incentives have been this massive thing that people have been fighting for years that just never, ever seems to get done. And so if California is now wanting to give tax incentives that leave states that ban abortion, it's a good thing for people who live in California, but it's still kind of a really crappy way to go about it. Now, it says here that a California Democratic lawmaker on Monday formally introduced a bill to offer tax breaks to film and television productions that relocate from states with strict abortion bans. And again, it's a good thing if you want to work in the state of California. But this kind of thing is ridiculous in regards to the controversy surrounding it. I don't support the abortion ban. I don't. I really honestly don't. But at the same time, the legislators of that state are the ones voted in by the people, and the people then have to be the ones to live with the consequences of those actions. And they have the choice, I think next year, or at least in 2022, to go and vote these people out if they don't like them. So when other states try to interfere in with that, it just kind of comes across as a bit, I don't know, bullyish, if you want my honest opinion, because there are good, hardworking people in Georgia, North Carolina, Alabama, I don't know, wherever other states are going to be at. They're going to lose their jobs as a result of this. And that is not right, because those people aren't doing anything wrong. And that's the biggest problem that I have with this situation. And the proposal comes after GOP Alabama Governor Kay Ivey last week signed one of the most restrictive abortion bans in the country that bans a procedure even in cases of rape and incest. Other states have also moved to pass strict abortion bans, including Georgia. Now, in the case of Alabama, that entire thing is unenforceable. They've even admitted it's unenforceable. And the whole point of the bill is to get it to the Supreme Court. So, it's all really, really lame religion-based politics that I don't like. Here's the thing. I get that a lot of this is religious-based in regards to the abortion bans. At least that's what they try to tell you. That's the arguments that they use. Oh, it's all about the God and the Bible said none of this. Right? But still, you want freedom of choice unless it has to do with your precious little freaking book. I'm sorry. That's the way I see it. That's the way I see it. And that's lame as hell. And you can not like it all you want. I don't care. There are actors and actresses that are refusing to be part of the production in those states, said Democratic Assemblywoman Luz Rivas. I'm saying that, I'm totally butchering that name, who is sponsoring the legislation. I think it really puts pressure on the industry to reconsider where they want to do business in those states. Look, they do business in those states because the state of California always consistently screws productions. Seriously. They always screw productions. That's why the companies move over to other states or go to other countries where it's cheaper, where the tax incentives are there. This is not an uncommon thing. So I just feel like that whole thing is like, well, these companies are really gonna need to look at who they do business with. Well, they would have done business with you and your state provided the tax incentives were, competitive. California has had a long troubled history with that. And that's been very annoying. Now, according to Rivas, the current film and television tax credits offered in California are fully subscribed. She said that the proposed expansion of film incentives is an opportunity to keep more jobs in California's signature film industry. Now, they're still moving them over. They're still moving them out of state. If this works to get more jobs back in state, it's not gonna do anything to make it cheaper to live in California. That's another thing too. It's cheaper to live in Atlanta and cheaper to live in North Carolina than it is to live in California. And so you can actually maybe work on these projects and be able to afford a living. There are so many people I know that are still scraping by in LA trying to make it work because all the jobs move to other states, and they cannot afford to follow and still maintain a residence in California. It's ridiculous. Anyway, it says we're willing to expand the program to other states, Rivas says, who represents the district in LA County. But right now we're highlighting those states with strict abortion bans. It's politics. It's just politics. You don't really care about it, right? You want to bring the tax incentives back. You want to get productions to come back to California. Fine. And that's cool. But don't use the abortion ban as a way to piggyback on that. Don't use this controversy as a way to piggyback in, because that's really what it feels like. It's really what it feels like. Now it says last year, Alabama achieved a record year for production with nearly 150 projects, including some that received refundable tax credits of up to 35%. Similarly, Georgia offered generous tax breaks for productions and boasted 455 film and television projects, including Black Panther. Well, Black Panther wasn't shot last year in Georgia. Black Panther was shot in Georgia, but then it was also released last year. I think it was shot in like the early 2017. So to be fair on that one, just a little bit of factoid for you there, buddy. But a lot of the entertainment industry is relocated to Georgia because the state is very competitive with their own state film tax credit. We're trying to further incentivize the entertainment industry that currently is filming in states with these strict abortion bans to come and do business in California and share our, oh my Jesus Christ. Oh my God, what are you doing? Share our values? What does that even mean? What does it even mean, share our values? Well, we're not putting, oh my God, people like you make it so tough to be a liberal. It really does. Look, just do it. Just sit there and say, we want the tax incentives to come in and to be good. We want the tax incentives to come in and help people out and get jobs back in California. And, but then just to pull this virtue signaling, ham-fisted crap is just ridiculous. Oh my God. So this bill, this measure, California Assembly Bill 1442, was formally introduced on Monday and would be in addition to existing incentives in the state to offer film and television products or projects in a tax credit program. In 2014, California more than tripled the size of its film incentive program from $100 million to $330 million annually. But the thing is with that because when I lived in California, which was in 2014, and I was involved in like the local scene and stuff in SoCal, the restrictions they put on the projects in order to get them the incentives is not something a smaller production can do. It's going to be a massive major production. It's got to be a lot of money. So a lot of people get screwed. However, not everyone is backing off of this year. What we've seen is some production companies have already indicated that the abortion bans will make a difference in terms of whether or not they decide to shoot there. So some people are saying, no, we're not doing business there, but others are still there and still working on it. So you've got Disney studio chief Nina Jacobson, whose LA-based production firm is behind Hunger Games and Crazy Rich Asians, tweeted that she agreed with Christine Vachon from saying that basically that Georgia's no longer going to be in consideration. But according to Ron Howard and Brian Grazer, who are currently shooting the Netflix film Hillbilly Elegy, have said that they have decided to stay. In fact, the quote here is, after much thought and deliberation, we decided to continue with shooting the movie in Georgia next month. However, the two said that they're going to boycott the state as a production center if the law goes into effect. So what that basically means is they're already so close to filming the movie, they're just going to keep it there. And then they're just going to shoot around it and then be done. But J.J. Abrams and Jordan Peele have reportedly planned to donate episodic fees from the HBO series Lovecraft Country to fight Georgia's abortion law. And that's kind of because they do a lot of work there. So they're going to try to fight it there that way. Here's the deal is back a candidate. Just back a damn candidate. Put a damn candidate you want in there and do that. But this California meddling in other states, man. Like, it's capitalism disguised as activism is all it is. It's like California's like, we need the money from these jobs. We need the money from these productions to spend hundreds of millions, these studios to spend hundreds of millions that go back into our system, back into our economy because they're not shooting them here. So, because they're not getting tax incentives. So now they're like, oh, we got to do more, but we're going to hide it behind this outrage over abortions. I love the entertainment industry. I love the creativity part of it. I love a lot about it. But this is straight up BS. This is just them hiding behind it because they feel that they can use this as a way, this moral outrage, if you want to call it that. And they want to use it as a way to try to get more people to come back to California to put more stuff into play. It's a very underhanded way to bring business back. And you almost have to kind of hand it to them that they've been able to play this angle as well as they did. Right? Because instead of, and because they want to hurt North Carolina, Georgia, and Alabama, the people that work in the industry there, the people that rely on the services, the monies earned from having these productions there, to then come out and challenge the governor and challenge the legislative in order to be able to get these things overturned. It feels like that's, like, I don't know. I think it should be to the will of the people, and the businesses who just want to make money should just go and make money and stay the hell out of it. To be honest with you, I just feel like it's not like, if Georgia was like I don't like execute. I don't know if they were performing like, I don't know if it's just so dumb. It's so remarkably dumb. I love California. I really do. It's just, this is so bad. And I'm hoping somebody calls him out on it.